For years now, the narrative around Australian manufacturing has been nothing but bleak. But against the grain of that perception, all around Australia, there's a bunch of inconspicuous, world-leading manufacturers quietly plugging away and building something great. The last couple of years has made it clear that without local industrial capabilities, the entire economy can grind to a halt based on the shortages of single products. In my view, the next few years will see a highly visible reshoring of manufacturing and industrialisation in countries like Australia that pivoted hard towards a specialisation in services. It's already happening. We'll increasingly hear more and more about all these niche Aussie manufacturers that have survived. This is the story of one of those businesses.
My name's Stuart Smith. I'm 39 years old. I'm Managing Director at Phytex Australia. Phytex is an active pharmaceutical ingredient manufacturer, providing a bulk ingredient to the pharmaceutical industry worldwide. Products that we make improve nausea and seasickness, cold and flu additives, and also, very closely related compounds that are used in anti-nerve agent uses in warfare settings and things like that. The ultimate outcome is improving people's lives and improving the physiological state that can come from a lot of these natural products. Phytex is a family business started by my father Reg in 1979. He is a background PhD chemist. I've grown up going to the manufacturing plant or the factory. I worked there casually through my teens and university. I learned pretty quickly from a science and a technical perspective how the methods that he developed to produce the end product are basically some of the best inventions in the world. The respect that I have from a science point of view and a business point of view that those inventions were established through my father's know-how is something that is really important to the business. It's what drives the business. I also like to be able to inject newer aspects, process improvements and things like that, and engineering improvements, making things more efficient. The aspect of the business that draws me and the passion that I have is that we're an Australian manufacturer. We manufacture materials that are 100% Australian sourced, minus a few chemicals and reagents. Everything that we do, we grow the plants here, it's extracted here, it's purified, and it's 100% export. The fact that we're a small business in Australia competing on the world stage with top 10 multinational pharmaceutical companies of billions of dollars of revenue, and we're filling a niche market and a need for them. I think that's pretty impressive and quite unique.
You can tell Stuart loves his business. It's a unique thing to take an established business and then begin to scale it. It's very different from taking a fresh startup and trying the same thing. And for a niche business like Stuart's, his biggest risk is concentration of key clients. It's called concentration risk. So how is he looking to hedge against that? How is he looking to protect it?
For a company that manufactures very niche, unique products, sometimes the market can be limiting. Only so many people manufacture that type of product. So I've always, seen it as a risk to the business. a few years ago and decades ago, we existed exactly that, serving routine customers and just being reliant on that. That was somewhat an aspect of the way that my father liked to manage the business, but for me, there's hundreds of thousands of potential compounds and products and active ingredients that you can look at that the technology can be applied somewhat. I really think that replicating what we already do well to other products and other services is really exciting. If we don't do that, then we'll just be another Australian manufacturer that manufactured once upon a time, and I'm pretty keen to keep that going.
Hi, I'm Anthony Wood. I've been working with Stuart and the team at Phytex for just on 4 years now. First time I spoke with Stuart, it was immediate that he wanted to take the business from what he had inherited, bought from his dad, and really take it from being a job with a couple of other people really into a business. Stu's willingness to transform the business, become a better organisation, become a better leader, better manager, better grower of the organisation, I think is one of his real strengths.
My father, he does have an MBA and many decades of running his business, but I don't. I deal with customers that are multinational, multi-billion-dollar businesses. So when we're negotiating upcoming suppliers, things like that, there's a panel of 5, 6, 10 procurement personnel, and on the opposite side of the table it's just me, and it can be super daunting.
One of the challenges that Stu faces is their business is based on finding problems in compounds, impurities, and removing those. So when you continually spend your days focusing on what's wrong, when you shift that thinking out to a different environment, that training can sometimes shine through unintentionally.
It's the higher level business and negotiation that sometimes, you just need that person to sort of back you and give you a bit more of the confidence.
Confidence. That's a tricky thing for any entrepreneur, because being in business, even when you've got a great team around you, it's a very lonely place. Stuart's got a great ambition. He sought out people to help him realise that dream of growing his father's and now his business. He's got the technical know-how. He's got the business know-how as well. But what is it going to take for him to realise that?
Hey, Stuart.
Hey Mark.
How you going?
Good mate, how are you?
So, what is it that's holding you back?
Largely confidence, largely experience that I guess driving a lot of it myself from the business development with no experience. I feel like a lot of the time I'm trying to invent the wheel, so to speak, when this has really been done before.
You know your business anyway.
Yes, yes,
you know your
definitely.
business.
Yep.
Um,
Yep. It's the higher level of business that
What's
is
the
completely
hire? What do you
foreign.
mean by hire?
Well, I want to scale the business. I want to have the business not reliant on a niche, small product portfolio,
Yep.
expand the product portfolio, de-risk. When you were looking at scaling Wizard, for instance, you identified that you needed that one person or multiple people with the financial aspects as well as the business development, influence and things like that, which you found.
Well, what's interesting about that is that when I look back in hindsight, though, all they gave me was confidence. So having Kerry Packer in my organisation gave me what I consider credibility. Nothing changed me in relation to my customer base or who I wanted to talk to, that is. And nothing really changed in relation to my product, because I knew my product backwards, like you know your product backwards. For me, it was just a matter of getting scale. I needed money. I needed capital more than I needed probably anything else. But then when I think about it, where I considered I came from, I didn't consider I deserved these things. I didn't consider I was entitled to be successful until I started to be successful. And I realised, well, Mark, it's all about you at the end of the day.
What was the transition that you started getting
Just
wins on the board?
It was just someone like Kerry Packer giving me the confidence. What I worked out was they didn't want to talk to anybody else. They wanted to hear from me, the owner of the business.
Yep.
They wanted to hear from the guy. They actually wanted to hear what the guy who knows the Australian market has got to say. If you go and tell these individuals, look, here I am, I know this marketplace, I know the Australian botanicals, etc., whatever it is that I'm extracting stuff from, we have a 40-year history in this industry.
Yep.
They would be crazy not to entertain you day one. They'd rather see you than anybody else because you're the dude, you're the guy.
Yeah.
You know, and by the way, on top of all that, you have a science background.
Yep.
So you can talk to them technically.
Yep.
So about this stuff, there's not just a bullshit marketing spruiker. You're a technical guy.
That's, I guess, the mentality of who I am. I can only really talk on
But
the
that's all
product
they want to
and-
hear.
Yeah.
You think they want to hear someone up there to talk about something special. They don't want to hear that. They want to hear, the two things they want to hear from is the proprietor.
Yep.
They want to hear about your experiences. They want to hear about what you think about a certain compound. That's the first thing. And the second thing is they do want products like yours, or they want to have the opportunity to hear about products like yours. It's a change of your mindset. I think you could be well served by changing the way you think other people are towards you. You're thinking that you're stepping up, use the word high before, you feel as though they're up here somewhere.
Yeah.
No, they're on the same playing field as you. Exactly the same playing field as you. And if they choose to see you, it's because they want something from you, whether it's knowledge, information, or product, or all three. If they just want the first two, knowledge and information, that's okay. You meet them, maybe next time. If they want the product, great. You've got every reason to be confident in yourself. Your company's got history, heritage, customers. It's got the technical background. It's got, you have executed for all these years. You've got the clients who know who you are, who know the company is. Then at the end of the day, your strategic advisor is going to sit there and say, yeah, it's a good idea, you can do it, blah, 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 blah. But it's you who has to make the first step. And don't ever forget this. The customer wants to talk to you, nobody else, not a strategic advisor or any other person, marketing person. They want to talk to you, the person who owns the business, the person who's got the technical ability, the person, by the way, who's got the dream, who's got the vision to be the best in the world. That's what they want to talk to. That's the person. It's you.
No matter the industry, I think there's a lesson here for every single business owner in the country. You've got to back yourself, because the difference between a business that just survives and a business that goes further, that thrives, is that mindset. Mindset that the product I've got, the people I've got, and the purpose we live by is something to believe in and something to stand up tall about and something to be really proud of.